What is going on, guys? This is your role model of the IWC Gamers Goon here today with kind of a New Year's video. It is 2021 technically right now. It's going to be turning 2022 here in about 4.5 hours. And I wanted to come on here and I wanted to give a New Year's video type of thing. And kind of reflect over 2021. Tell you guys what the plan going forward is for 2022. I'm not gonna lie to you. 2021 at points was miserable for me. It was miserable. At points there was a lot of things going on that I was contemplating. At one point, I haven't told anybody this really, except just a few close people. There was one point where I was actually contemplating dropping out of school. Um, there, it's been an up and down 2021, to be honest. I've just lacked a lot of motivation. Obviously, you guys could probably tell that if you look at my YouTube channel. Very inconsistent uploading schedules. Very inconsistent in general. I was supposed to be doing a Christmas 25 days of Christmas thing. I don't even know how long that lasted. Obviously, not long enough. Um, However, we are moving on to 2022. Obviously, I still want to maintain doing YouTube. It's something I enjoy doing. It's just something that when I doing it the way I do it is very stressful because I like to bring out the best content that I can produce. And when I'm thinking of ways I can produce content, I don't think my best content is coming in the form of what it has been the last 3-4 years with wrestling content. And I've talked to a few of my friends in the IWC, and a lot of them are also kind of in that path where they don't really want to be part of the community anymore. I don't know what it is really. WWE is horrible. AEW has their own flaws. They're okay, but they have their own flaws. Rampage is something I do not like. Um, Impact is basically non-existent on a major scale. And then the fan bases on Twitter, man, it's really hard to be invested in wrestling right now. And honestly, I think that might be a little bit due to the oversaturation of wrestling content able to view. Because if you remember 2-3 years ago, we were sitting there, we were desiring more. We got AEW. Everybody was excited at the beginning. Everybody had all these options, and now I just kind of feel burnt out. Um, and if you're one of those people watching this video and you're sitting there, well, I don't feel burnt out. Good for you. It doesn't mean other people can't feel differently. That doesn't mean other people can't have a different opinion about AEW, a different opinion about WWE. In my opinion, right now is not a great time to be a wrestling fan, which is probably a controversial statement because I've heard it many times. We're at the best time to be a professional wrestling fan. Maybe the wrestling's good, but I don't know, man. It's just something that is really hard for me to invest my time in, really hard for me to really get into at this point in this stage because it's kind of like I'm just going through the motions. I'm coming on here whenever I tell you guys I'm gonna be doing pay-per-views. I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna try to do that around Mania weekend. I always try to do a full week of wrestling, and I'm just not that into it. I'm just not that into it, and I don't really know why. I really don't know why. I enjoy watching the show casually. That's why I usually don't tweet during Dynamite when I'm watching it because I found it much better to just stay off Twitter, to keep everything off, and just go back to the days of me sitting in my living room when I was younger watching the show without social media, without even a phone. I find myself doing that nowadays when I'm watching Dynamite. I'll sit there, I'll watch it, I won't say a word on Twitter. I'll come back 3 or 4 days later. I'll be like, oh, that was a good segment the other night. That's much better for me than to sit there and just be so involved like I try to be. And you've probably noticed the last few months that I haven't been that involved. And it's more so the fact that I've been really stressed lately, and also the fact that I'm being very serious. I don't really want to be that a part of the IWC right now. Um, I've talked to a few of my friends, like I said, and a lot of them had the same opinions that we wouldn't be in the IWC unless the others were in there. The reason why that people, at least the people I talk to, are still in the IWC is because the other people that we talk to, our group, was made because of the IWC. A lot of my friends have came from the IWC, and a lot of them are on the same path that I am on, that they just really don't give a shit about wrestling right now. They really just don't care. They'll go off and do their own thing. I'll go off and do my own thing. I much rather sit there and watch the Bulls play than to be on my couch at a certain time to watch Dynamite. I can watch Dynamite on DVR. I don't know. To me right now, it's not must see. It is not must see. And that might be a controversial statement. You might be looking at me and thinking I'm stupid. Um, but believe me, I I love the business. I love the business, but I I think reached a point where it's too much for me. Too much for me. Um, and outside of exclusively pay-per-views, even during Mania weekend, exclusively pay-per-views. The night before a pay-per-view, whether that is a Impact, AEW, or WWE pay-per-view, either those, which I've kind of been doing the last few months anyways, is just pay-per-views. Outside of just that, and one show that I'm going to, on February 20th, I will be going to a Prestige Wrestling show, which I'm very excited for. But outside of those two things, I don't necessarily think you're going to get much content from me from wrestling in 2022. I really don't. Um, I I just I kind of, if you haven't heard, if you don't know who he is, go check him out. Indigo Uchiha. Me and him were having a conversation when we both filmed a video earlier this month, and we were sitting there, and one of the things we talked about, I think it was off camera. We were both sitting there, and we were both just like, it's really hard right now to want to talk wrestling. It's just the collective mood is just not good. Not necessarily because the shows have been bad, but it's just been a really down time for a lot of people, and I'm definitely included in that. Um, there's some days that I have zero motivation to even get up and do things. There's some days where I want to do things. There's some days where I just go through the motions. It's it's not sustainable, to be honest. And that's what my goal is, to try to get away from and stop just going through the motions in 2022. Um, However, in 2022, I do want to adjust my content a little bit, and I do want to at least give you 2 videos a week. I think that's fair to put on myself. Even with school, I think I can easily get 2 videos a week. 2 videos a week. I'm thinking probably what I'm going to end up doing is Monday or I don't know if I'll do Monday and Friday. Maybe, because I got two, maybe it's going to be Wednesday and Friday. Maybe it's going to be actually Monday and Wednesday, Monday and Friday. I'm not sure completely. Um, I really don't know, to be honest. But what I want to do in 2022 is I really wanted to, instead of talking wrestling, which has been about 90% of what this channel has been based upon, I more so want to have a week or a 2 times a week podcast, exclusive just podcast, that I can talk about wrestling. Sometimes if something big happens, like somebody released, Tony Storm got released, for example, that might be mentioned on the first podcast for a slight period of time. But I want to give myself a platform throughout the week to talk about the NFL instead of just making a complete NFL video, a NBA video. The Chicago Bulls have been phenomenal. They won again tonight with DeMar DeRozan's beautiful three-point shot to win the game. The New Year's Eve won us the game. But I want to have a platform on at least 2 days a week where I can sit there and I cannot necessarily be handcuffed down to one topic, because what I've been doing the last year or two when I talk about the Bulls is I make a specific video, Chicago Bulls. And then if I want to talk about the Bears, I'll make a Bears video. If I want to talk about wrestling, I will make a wrestling video. I more so want to do it the way that I will have 2 times a week, maybe Tuesday. I don't really want to do Tuesday because I have 2 classes. Maybe Wednesday. Go on there, talk about Monday Night Football, talk about the playoffs that are coming up. Friday, come out there and tell you whatever went on between Wednesday and Friday. I'm not exactly sure 100% what I'm gonna do, but I plan on doing it at least 2 times a week. Next Friday though, at least for some of the game, I will have a little bit of a vlog for the Cavs Blazers game, because I will be there next Friday, because I only have class in the morning, and so my mom did get me some tickets for Christmas at the Blazers Cavs game. That should be fun. That should definitely be fun. But yeah, really for 2022, I'm trying to lessen the stress of myself on YouTube. Obviously, this is something I like to do, but it's something that with school and possibly another job this summer, internships, all that stuff, it's really hard to juggle for me. And I'm somebody that, if you don't know, I get very anxious a lot more than I should. I will spend hours upon hours stressing over little things that I probably shouldn't need to stress out about. However, that's just who I am. And getting schoolwork done, surviving myself because I live on my own, doing YouTube, all of that has just been way overwhelming for me. There's been points this year, like I said, that I just really didn't even really want to be at school, to even do YouTube, to do a lot of different things. There's been points this year where I've just been really sad. And I really think a lot of that is because of the stress I put on myself. So I'm going to try to lessen that in 2022. Hopefully, that is what happens. Sometimes I get in a mood that I want to overwork myself, and hopefully, that's not the case. Hopefully, 2022, I can stay pretty calm and relaxed. But 2022, obviously, when you're talking about New Year's resolutions, everybody wants to better themselves. But for you to better yourself, you really have to identify what the issue is that you have. And for me, that's just been, I've overloaded, like, I've put way too much stress on myself. That is way too unsustainable. I should not necessarily be doing so much but so little at the same time, because when I do it, like for example at Christmas, me doing like 10, 15 days in a row, however long I got, me doing that burnt me out for the month. Burnt me out. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to relax. But if it's something that I can only do maybe twice a week, I'm hoping that will lessen the stress on me, lessen the necessity for me to need to feel like, well, I need to be putting in the work for YouTube to keep going, to keep progressing on YouTube. I need to keep doing the work in school. I need to keep doing the work because I've been going to the gym a lot, not necessarily to work out, but to play basketball. I've been going in a lot, trying to get back to playing basketball. Since I broke my hand, I haven't played a lot of basketball until last semester, and I'm going to need to be going back there. And tomorrow I fly back. And that's been the best way for me to relieve a lot of the stress that I build up. So we'll see. We'll really see what happens in 2022. And to be honest, I don't know which day I'm going to be doing the weekly podcast. Friday is definitely going to be one of the days because I have a class in the morning and nothing in the afternoon. But the other day, I don't know. So we will see whenever I tell you on New Year or in the new year in 2022. Because the 6th, I believe, is Friday. That will not be the next video uploaded. The next video uploaded will actually be on an upload day, whether that's Monday, Wednesday. I don't know. Either Monday or Wednesday. But Friday is definitely one of those days. And I will let you guys know either on next Monday or Wednesday. If you tune on the channel, I will either be talking about some basketball, I'll be talking about something. I'll probably give an all-star votes podcast, talk a little bit about football. Playoffs are coming up. There's definitely a lot to talk about in the sports world. MLB, I really want to talk about MLB. I've been very into MLB baseball when they were playing this year. So when they start back up, I definitely want to hop into that. NHL, probably not. I've even kind of considered at least, doing play-by-play for the Bulls, um, which means I'll turn the game on my monitor. I'll have a headset on, and I will be watching the game, but you guys could tune in and watch me commentate the Bulls. I don't necessarily, I'm not saying that is a solidified thing at all. That's just an idea that I've had sitting in the back of my head that I kind of want to do, but I'm not necessarily attached to just yet. We'll see. We'll see going forward. But thank you all for watching. I'll talk to you guys later in 2022. 2021 was an up and down year. I think everybody can agree. COVID is still around, still kicking our ass. The Omicron variant's here. Just got my booster 2-3 weeks ago, right before Christmas. Man, hopefully it's done by 2022. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for sticking with me through 2021. And we're on to a bigger and better year, and hopefully it's something that we can all say at the end of the year that we had a better 2022 than a 2021. And hopefully it's something that a lot of us can look back on and say that we had a lot of growth during 2022. But thank you guys for watching. As always, appreciate all of you who are on the channel. All my subscribers, thank you once again. You're the reason I keep doing YouTube, so definitely thank you. Big thank you to everybody. Big shout outs once again to Indigo. Shout out to my boy Kevin. Shout out to Joseph Conlon. Shout out to a lot of the guys that I've been talking to over the past year, 2, 3, 4 years that got me into the IWC and made some good friendships along the way. We'll see what happens with the IWC, but I really don't want to be in it next year, so we'll see. See you guys next time.